Good afternoon. I posted one of these here a few days ago, just saying what was on my mind. I posted on Facebook and several people contacted me telling me I need to keep doing it. I said, well, what if I run out of things to say? Somebody told me a good friend told me just to start over again. I don't know if I'll go that far with it, but if I got something to say I think it's worth saying, maybe I will. But something I came across my mind today, I saw an old video about a band that I used to play with called Answer Prayer Band. And we were playing in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, being filmed for the GMT network. And I got to thinking about that group and the place that we used to play, that we used to love to play in Bossier City. It was a street ministry coffee house deal in Bossier City called Jacob's Well. Now, Jacob's Well, it ministered to the people, the homeless on the street, living on the streets, the prostitutes, the drug addicts. And what they would do, they would have different churches in the community would come and sponsor a night, and they would cook food and bring it up there, and they would serve the people food for free. And they would have groups like ours would come in and to play and minister to the people. And I remember several times we went, there was 3 elderly men that were living on the street. And they all 3 had Army field jackets on. I don't know if they were actually in the military or not. If they just got it, somebody gave them the jackets or whatever. But they always saw them together. And sometimes when we set up and I would go walk around to talk to the people, I don't have no problem being around homeless people, but it was always, at that time, it was hard for me to understand how people got in that position. And so I walked by, I introduced myself, and they asked me to sit down, and I did, and we had an idle talk back and forth, you know. And finally, I had to be honest with him. I said, guys, listen, I have to tell you the truth that I don't know how to relate to you. Because I've never gone a day that I didn't have a roof over my head. I've never gone a day that I didn't have clothes on my back. I never gone where I had to miss a meal on purpose because I could have no other choice. And I said, I would venture to say if I was to get all of our congregation from our church and bring them up here, 75% of them would have to say the same thing, that they don't know how to relate to people that are homeless. And they all nodded their head in understanding. And one of them spoke up and said, well, George, I believe I could speak for the 3 of us that we've never had a day when we didn't have at least a meal to eat. We've always had some clothes to put on our back. And we really haven't gone a day when we didn't have a shelter to get under out of the weather. He said, I understand what you're saying. He said, but do you know what we need more than anything? And to my shame, the thought crossed my mind. So, well, here it comes. Can you loan me $20? And I kind of braced myself and I said, what? He said, love. We're homeless, not unlovable. Yeah, I had the same reaction. I felt just about that big. And it really shook me because I realized I wasn't who I thought I was. You know, we make these assumptions about people. But in the end, that's all we want to know is everything is going to be okay. And that we're loved. The problem is the love that we give, men and women give in this earth, too many times it's conditional. Way too many times. I've never forgotten those 3 men. I hope I never do. Because they remind me daily everybody deserves to be loved. And you say, well, not everybody. When if you say that, then you're saying none of us deserve to be loved, and then maybe Christ doesn't deserve to love us. We don't deserve it. We don't. There's a thing called grace and mercy. And we're not God, but He sure gave us a good example of how we should walk in this earth. All I know is I'm not the same man I was yesterday. I try to be better than I was yesterday. And not necessarily by my own strength, but relying on God heavily to lead me, guide me, direct me, that I know how to love better. Y'all have a good day. God bless.